Hello everybody. It's been a little while, but I promise I've still been working on things. I just got really busy with work and life and everything the past couple months, but I actually have quite a few adaptations done or almost done, and I just genuinely haven't had time to record, haven't had time to shoot, haven't had time to edit any of that stuff. But I'm currently working on Les Étoiles Filantes. I already finished recording it, but I wanted to make a video that's a little bit special. So that's gonna take me a little while longer. But I wanted to just kind of give y'all a little update. Like, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm still doing things, and give you some sneak peeks of what I've been working on. So right now, my current projects sort of fall into the territory of the Cowboys Fringants, my Starmania series, Måneskin. Those who have followed me for a while might remember that I did publish a version of SOS d'un terrien en détresse, and I took it down shortly afterwards because I felt like I'd really rushed it. I wasn't happy with the lyrics because I was really pushing to have at least one video per month, and I don't want to do that anymore if it means sacrificing the quality of my work, which is why I took that video down, and which is why it's been 2 months since I published anything. But I'm working on a new version of SOS. I finished Bon Leonard, which is one of my favorite songs from Starmania as well, and I've done a couple other ones, so I'll share some little snippets of that. I actually already finished my English version of Mark Chapman, but the issue I'm coming across is that because of the copyright, it's banned in a couple of countries, which I don't like. So I'm not sure what I want to do yet, because normally what I would do there is just do an instrumental, but it sounds a little bit silly on an acoustic guitar, and it's not easy to play for me. So I've also gotten asked to do more Stromae songs, and I've thought about doing Carmen, I've thought about doing Tafet, but those two are both really, really tricky. So I haven't really sat down to do the work on those. For Les Étoiles Filantes, I've also been shooting for basically a behind the scenes video of how I do these, how I do the translations, how I record, how I make these. Because I don't have a super high-tech setup, I just have what I have and make do with it. But I figured some people might want to see the process before I get into the actual sneak peeks of what everything is sounding like so far. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me. You can follow for free if you just want to make sure you don't miss any updates. That way you'll get an email notification whenever I post updates. But for paid patrons, I also do sneak peeks. I do behind the scenes. I put up MP3s for people who just want to download the sound files, early access to videos, and I'll just post what I'm working on. I share a lot of audio snippets, like 1-minute demos or sometimes full songs. So you can come on my Patreon if you want to support me, follow me, do all that kind of stuff. But I also know that there's a lot of subscriptions out there, so I made a Ko-fi account a little while ago. It looks like Ko-fi, but apparently it's pronounced coffee. If you want to give me what amounts to a tip, essentially, you can also go to my Ko-fi account for a little one-time payment. So without further ado, let's get into the sneak peeks. I know that different people follow me for different things, so here's a handy dandy directory in case you want to skip to something in particular, but I'm just kind of gonna go through all the things that I've been working on. And at the end, I'll share some little snippets of some original songs I've been working on as well. I've written lyrics for songs since I was a kid, but sharing things that you actually write yourself is very different than adapting the works of others. So if you follow me on Instagram, or if you've been following some of the shorts I published on YouTube, you can see little snippets of those, but I'll share a little bit of that too as well at the end. And we'll go from there. So starting with, let me pull up the lyrics because I have not memorized the things that I'm working on. We'll do a little snippet of La Fin du Show. There we go. I had a life of spoiled fun, I had it easy like no one. Excess became my all the time, I never paid it any mind. 12 times round the planet, touring in trucks and jumbo jets, and whether Brussels or Canjack, God, I had fun you couldn't match. I played the biggest concert halls, from Paris back to Montreal, while bathing in the love and warmth of glory and all of its perks. So that's a little bit of that. And obviously the other one I've been working on is Les Étoiles Filantes, which again, I have finished and I have recorded, but I have something special I want to do for the video, which I am working on currently, but it takes a little bit longer. I've shared most of Les Étoiles Filantes on Patreon as well. Also, huge shout out to Pascal Lalande, who has provided the guitar for this. He did it for Sur Mon Épaule as well. Also, ignore my kitten. I think I've shared part of the second verse on Instagram. I do share quite a bit on Instagram as well, if you want to follow me there. If I ever had a moment to tell you about my life, got no way, no motive, find a bar and pass the time, I would share with you the stories carved in my memory from a time growing up was no more than a distant dream. When I ran round the swings to annoy the other girls, when a toy was to me far more precious than the world. Winter games in the streets, snowball fights and igloos, running home, frozen feet, just in time to pass part two. But at the end of the road, tell me what will remain of that little school, the playground, and our games. And when the paper airplanes no longer take flight, will we say those good times are passing by like shooting stars at night? So that's what I got for the Cowboys at the moment. So moving on to Måneskin. Let me just let this kitten in because, hello ma'am. Woo. So this little girl, a lot of y'all probably don't know, I live in Houston, which is on the Gulf Coast. It's the largest city in Texas by population, but we get a lot of hurricanes. And we got a hurricane in July, Hurricane Beryl. And the day after the hurricane, this little baby showed up at my front door crying, and I'm a sucker, so she's mine now. Hello. But she still likes to cry at doors, especially at 5 in the morning. Mark Chapman. So yeah, I actually finished Mark Chapman.
It's banned in a couple of countries.
Disguised among the people, without a face or name. He says he loves me, but I know he's lying. Locked up alone in shadow, he never sees the day. He says he loves me, but I know he's lying. If he escaped his prison, he wouldn't miss the chance to follow me through the whole city till he got revenge. Disguised among the people, without a face or name. He says he loves me, but I know he's lying. He walks in town and fits right in, a nightmare dressed up like a man. He makes you feel the danger when he calls you idol, calls you friend.
And then I've also been working on Ventani. Let me find my translation. No, you are not going to play with my guitar. This is why I don't let you in this room. I usually remember the lyrics better if it's a song I've already recorded or at least done a demo for. Ma'am. Oh, you're losing your inside privileges. Come on. Go play with daddy. I also have an idea for a video for Ventani, because I'm a lot closer to 30 than 20 at this point. But I have a cousin who's a teenager who we look like enough alike that I think it could be fun to shoot a little video for it where it's like the future self talking to her past self. And she's down to do it, but she's also still in high school, so probably have to wait until she's off for the Christmas holiday. This is honestly most of the time when I'm working, it's not me it's not me recording, it's not me traveling, it's not me shooting, it's just me sitting on my laptop, like in the living room. Perciò non ti stupire se da niente faccio drammi. I'm only 20. Don't be surprised if I'm here making something out of nothing. I'm scared my name will be forgotten under all the others that I'll have offered nothing to the world but hoarded money. But I'm only 20. Already begging for forgiveness for the thing that I done. The road is harder when you're pointed straight into the heavens. You gotta choose between the things that matter for you leaving. Keep in mind this one's only like half done, so I'm kind of making up stuff. And then a lot of people have asked for Torna a Casa. I do love that song, I just haven't worked on it at all really. I just kind of have I have a couple versions of the chorus sort of percolating in my head. Come on, Marlena, run back home now. Da-da-da-da-da, waiting. Also, La Paura del Buio. I love that song. I almost forgot that one. So I have quite a few Måneskin stuff coming up. So good news for you if you like that sort of edge of what I'm doing. Don't know what they're talking about. I look in the mirror and see myself like some kind of clown on a demented merry-go-round, and I don't wanna come down. Da 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 da. don't have a lot done for La Paura del Pollo, but it's also in the works. And then we have Starmania, or Starmania. I talked a little bit about this in the video I made for Quand on arrive en ville, which is probably one of my favorite songs from the show. I do think it's a shame that there wasn't an English version that was more successful. So I've sort of been sitting on this idea of making a more accurate version of Starmania, though obviously with my own personal flavor and biases and my own perception of the characters in the show. But I've also pretty much finished SOS d'un terrien en détresse, my version of it, and Banlieue Nord, and I've shared these in full with my Patreon. jaclynlizzi. Who am I? What am I? Here we go. Keep in mind that these are kind of demo versions.
Why must I live? Why must I die? Why should I laugh? Why should I cry? Please hear my SOS. This earthling is in distress. Never belonged here on the ground. Why can't I fly in the wind? I can't stand this skin.
So that's a little bit of SOS, or the new version of SOS. And then I love Banlieue Nord.
My name's Johnny Rockford. Not that you care, I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. I didn't choose the life I have. Mother, dear, lost a mind. Daddy drinking all the time. I quit school and I hitched a ride. Check out life on the other side.
So that's a little snippet of what that's sounding like. I've also been playing with Hey That's No Way to Say Goodbye. I really just wanted to learn it on guitar. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I've been wanting to get better at guitar and learn how to finger pick and everything for a long time. So this song has been a big challenge for me, but still in the realm of doable, which is why I wanted to learn it. But then my brain is my brain, and so I kind of ended up making a Spanish version of it in the process of learning it. So we got
Dame por la mañana con besos de calor, tu pelo en la almohada como un huracán de oro. No somos los primeros en este amor eterno en bosque. Bosque y en pueblo sonríe con nosotros.
So last but certainly not least, a couple things that I've been working on. This song is called Nighttime Town. I wrote the earliest version a long time ago. Kitten is back. But it isn't until recently I've tried turning it into an actual song with music. Huge help from Joe Doucet, who helped me figure out the chords and chord progression and a good kind of finger picking pattern for it. And then my friend Ritika's a composer, and she listened to it and might be able to make a little bit more fuller sound with different instruments. So we'll see how we go from there. Driving long through the night, not a soul around. At least that's what you thought before you heard those damning sounds. Was that a scream, a shot, a snap? Are you sure you belong? Traveler, take that exit out, run along, back home. Beware that nighttime town. Nobody lives there but the gallows hang you bound. Ghosts are walking in the street, faces drawn and proud. Beware, traveler, beware that nighttime town. Last but certainly not least is another song that I've been working on. So I made an English version like normal, and then my friend Timothée Poulard actually made a French version of just this
little song that I wrote. So I'll play a little part of it in English and then in French so you can hear the difference. I wish you the best, but I hate your success. The tide lifts the boats while I'm stuck on the coast. I'd swim if I could, I don't know if I should. I'm wishing you well, and I'm wishing you hell. I want you to leave, but I hate when you go. I want you to succeed, but I hate you even so. I haven't practiced this one a lot, but that's the idea. And then this is Timo's version in French. J'admire ton succès, sans te dire je t'aime. T'es cool, on t'acclame. Moi je coule ou je rame. Évoque ma galère, perdue dans la mer. Que ta vie soit belle, que ta vie soit poubelle. Je veux t'atterrir, mais je t'ai dans la peau. Je veux que tu y arrives, mais quand même, point trop non faux. That's the idea anyways. That's most of what I'm working on right now. Actually, I forgot Margherita. I'm also working on an English version of Margherita by Riccardo Cocciante or Richard Cochante for the francophone, but I'm tired and we're about to go to lunch. So I will call it quits for now. Thank you so much for joining this little ride. I have so much coming and I hope that you'll enjoy it. So bye for now.